is no secret. It really takes a commitment, it takes discipline, and it takes priority. So obviously my priorities changed when my daughter was born a year ago, but that doesn't mean that I have to throw everything else away. I still go to the gym 6 days a week, but I'm there when she wakes up, I'm there for her bath, I'm there when she goes to bed, I'm there for all 3 meals. I take her swimming every single day, we go for a walk every single morning, and yet I still go to the gym 6 days a week. I still am caught up on my emails. I still get 8 hours of sleep at night. And so it's just a matter of you know, what's important to you. Always.
Yeah.
Always. And what you do is swing the pendulum. You know, so all of a sudden, you know, you realize you've been spending so much time at school or at work, and all of a sudden you got a pot belly. So now you swing the pendulum over to the gym, and you're at the gym, you know, 2 hours a day for, you know, 5 days, and then all of a sudden you realize that you're not making enough money. So then you swing the pendulum over to get a second job, and then you realize that you haven't done volunteer work for a long time. So then you swing the pendulum over to getting spiritual, and now you're not making enough money. So then you swing meaning it's an ongoing game.
Balance.
But see, that to me is an adventure. Why should that process of swinging the pendulum back and forth to try to find that balance from one area to the next, why should that be a chore? Why should that be drudgery? To me, it's like this exciting adventure. I get to wake up in the morning and think, okay, what do I need to do today to get balanced with my health? What do I need to do today? I got to connect with my mom today. I gotta call my best friend to wish them a happy birthday. Meaning, so to me, I jump out of bed with this excitement of what's the day going to be like today to find that balance.
The ride called life.
But you never graduate from it. You never. None of us are going to get a final certificate saying you mastered it. That will never happen.
No.
For future professionals, when we graduate, what are some challenges that you see for us within the first year, the first 5 years, and what would be your advice to have longevity within the industry?
A couple of the challenges are, number one, bouncing around a lot. Well, I'm at this salon, oh, I changed my mind, I don't like it here, for whatever reason. And then they bounce, I don't like the music they played, so I'm gonna quit and go get another salon. You get a bad image, a bad reputation really, really quickly because the industry is very, very small and people talk. And you're bouncing from one salon to the next salon to the next salon because it's not the perfect fit. Well, because I get students that come back to me and saying, you know, gosh, I can't find that be nice culture in a salon. And what's my message? Well, then you create it. You know, well, then you're the messenger to get in there and use what you learned. That's why we call it school, because you learned something and now you get to apply it in that salon if they don't have that be nice culture or that giving back culture. So again, just do the right interviewing and take your time to make the right decision. Don't make a snap decision. They're going to interview you, you're going to interview them so that you're making the right choice of where you're going to work and you're going to stay there and you're going to commit to that. But then the other challenge that I see is that people want it too quickly. They just want it too soon. It's a lot of hard work. So realize, you know, when you're starting off, maybe it's not 9 to 5. Maybe it's 8 to 7. You know, 6 days a week. And that's okay because it's fun. You chose this. You know, I don't know very many Palm Mitchell future professionals who were forced into attending beauty school. In fact, it was the exact opposite of that. They had to convince mom and dad, no, I really, really want this. No, you're going to college. No, I really want this. You chose this. So now that you chose it, you better commit everything to it. And I still don't wait for the phone to ring. You know, people, well, I really want to do hair and makeup for photography, but I'm waiting for the phone to ring. The phone's never going to ring. I've been doing this for 30 years. I have to make the phone ring. I don't sit around waiting for somebody to call me with an opportunity. I call them and say, okay, I have this great idea. You're going to hire me. You're going to pay me this amount of money. You're going to sell tickets to my seminar. It's going to cost you this amount of money. Here's the flyer, what the flyer looks like. And they're like, oh, okay. If I waited for them to figure all that out and then call me, the phone never rings. So just realize you have to get out there and hustle. You know, to walk into a salon and think that they're going to hand you a clientele or that they're going to make you famous, you know, that they're going to give you these opportunities, that's just so small-minded. You're going to make all those things happen for yourself and be grateful that they gave you a place to work. That's all they owe you. Here's a place to work. Cool. I take over from here. Yeah, it's, you know, your ego is what will keep you from apologizing when you know you're supposed to. You know, it's just, you just get to the point in life, and you know, I think age has a lot to do with it. You know, the older I get, the older people get, you know, they hopefully learn to just kind of let things go, and it's really not that big of a deal. You know, I think being a leader, where you have people who are looking up to you, not only for a paycheck, but also to create a healthy environment for them. And I learn just as much from people who screw it up as I do from people who get it right. And so when I visit other companies and other cultures where there's this toxic environment and the boss is a jerk, and people live in fear every single day of their paycheck, and they're clocking in and clocking out, they can't wait to get out of there. First of all, maybe you're engaging their time from 9 to 5. Maybe they're clocking in and clocking out, but are you engaging their heart? No. You engaging their minds? No. You engaging their passion to want to do a good job and make the company more money? No. Well, if I'm a boss and I'm paying somebody, why wouldn't I want to engage all of that to where they show up and they're like, wow, this is a great place and I want to be here every single day? Well, part of being a good boss is being able to say, I blew it. You know, I was wrong. I screwed up. I'm so sorry. I don't know the answer to that question, but let's all go find out together. And, you know, and that took a while for me to learn that. You know, it took a while for me, you know, because, again, ego, and you're stubborn, and that gets in the way. But then all of a sudden you have an experience where, like, oh, gosh, I really screwed up. I better tell them about it. You guys, I really screwed up. And they're like, really? You'll admit to that? And when I saw that reaction, like, why wouldn't I give that to them? That was a gift I just gave to them. You know, for them to see that the boss is human, that I can say, you guys, I screwed up, and I'm really sorry. Because then guess what? Then they're going to go home and say to their family, hey, gosh, I screwed up. You know, that trickles down. So for me, it's not just the 20 people who work for me. It's that those people represent another 10 family members and friends in their circle. So now that circle is 200 people that I'm responsible for. If I blow it for those 20, i.e. I'm a jerk, I don't admit when I'm wrong or made a mistake, I don't create that healthy environment, I don't praise and encourage them on a daily basis. If I create that horrible environment for those 20 people, you better believe they're going to take that home. And so I don't think just about the 20, I think about the 200 or the thousands that now live under this Palm Mitchell School umbrella. And so just, I need to get out of my own way. And ego, here's how you know the difference. When someone's coming from a place of ego, they want you to feel good about whom? Them. About them. But when you're coming from a place, you put your ego aside and you're coming from a place of self-love, somebody who comes from that place, they want people to feel good about themselves. It's not about you making me feel good. It's about me making you feel good. And to me, those are the best leaders. Those are the best leaders. You know, Vidal Sassoon was a great example of that. I've been with Vidal where there's 2,000 people in the room, and of course they all want a piece of him. They all want a picture with him. They all want to talk to him. But if he's talking to you, what's he doing?
He's talking to you.
He doesn't even know that this is going on around him. He is just so focused on you. And what's he talking about? You. He's not saying, well, I'm rich, I won this award, I know this celebrity. He's not talking about that. He's saying, Chavez, tell me about you. Why do you want to be a hairdresser? Tell me about your career. What are your plans? And he's genuinely interested in what you have to say. And those are the best leaders, mentors, heroes. And that's the kind of person that I want to be.
I think you're succeeding.
Basic human need to feel loved, appreciated. I mean, we need that every single day. I believe it's right up there with oxygen. We can't survive literally without that praise and acknowledgement from people. And the sad thing is, there are people who choose to spend time with people who, when you screw up, they can't wait to tell everybody about it. Mm-hmm. So it's the exact opposite. Not only are they not receiving praise and encouragement, they're receiving the opposite of that, meaning you fail and I'm going to tell everybody about it. I'm going to find joy somehow or humor in your failure. And which is why negative reality TV shows exist. Which is why people rubberneck when there's an accident on the freeway. People are somehow entertained by the misery of others, and I never understood that. Thankfully, I was never drawn to that. But a lot of people are. and they invest sometimes hours a day or hours a week into somebody else's tragedy.
It's just like right in with how you brought up the Kardashians and everything, how everybody's into that stuff. But yeah.
I don't get it. I truly don't get it. But
No, I think it makes you a better person to release yourself from that negativity, as you said in the book, to try to stay away from the negative, and because it takes so much more to erase that negative and just focus on the positive.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to wait till you graduate and then get out into the industry and work for a couple of years before you have something to share, before you have something to add. So if you have 1 day of core, well, then you have 1 day more experience than people who haven't started yet. And so look at yourself as not just a learner, but also as a mentor. So yes, you're a brilliant learner, but you're also a mentor, and you can be a teacher, and you can set an example for other people. And when you start to assume that responsibility in the school, so it's not just the director's job to be the mentor, it's not just the learning leader's job to make sure that people are following the systems and are living to be a nice culture and are not cheating on tests. Because guess what? Sometimes we're not in the room when that's happening, but guess what? You are. Future professionals are there. And so when you assume the responsibility for the culture in your school, which then means you assume the responsibility for the salon that you get a job at, which then means you assume the responsibility for how you raise your children and creating a be nice culture in your family. So you're a great learner, but then you're also a teacher and you're a mentor, and you can start that right away. So just realize you have a lot more to offer than what you thought. And final message is, you guys, you have to work hard. Just realize if you really, really want this, you're not clocking out at 5 o'clock and that's the end of it. You have to work so, so hard in this industry. But the good news is there's no ceiling. There's nobody saying, sorry, you can only charge $30 for a haircut, because I just spent a couple days ago with Ken Pavis, who charges $600. Okay? There's nobody saying, well, you have to have a college degree or you have to have this certification before you can then have this opportunity. That doesn't exist in our industry. There's nobody saying that you can't have fun. There's nobody, meaning all of those things are available to us. But it takes a huge commitment and a lot of hard work for the rest of your career. To me, the most attractive people in this industry are those who they've been doing this for 50 years, and yet they're still sitting in a haircutting class going, right? They're still there, like, ready to learn. To me, that's so attractive, because a know-it-all is unattractive.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Pleasure.
so much
You guys,
for
I'm
your
glad you're
time.
doing this. It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Anything I can do, I'm always available.